Chapter 2, Game Clock, 85 Days. 60 minutes earlier, they arrived at an old, dilapidated two-story house in the middle of nowhere, Utah. It looked abandoned from the outside, no tire marks in the dusty driveway. Kingston and Pandora circled the house to see if they could get a view inside one of the many windows. No such luck. Each window was covered with some sort of blackout curtain that kept them from seeing anything inside. "Anyone inside the house?" Kingston asked Lucky as he headed to the porch. "As far as I can see, no heat signatures inside the structure," replied Lucky. Kingston cautiously walked up the steps to the front porch and tried the handle. The door opened easily. The hairs on his neck stood up. His breath quickened. He pushed his wristband and a chemical pulsed through his veins, settling the uncertainty in his lungs. Dr. Pharma had formulated a special asthma medication that relieved his symptoms at the press of a button. He pulled a handgun out of his side holster and aimed into the darkness. He signaled to a skittish Pan that he was moving forward. She followed with her gun extended, aiming in the opposite direction. The contacts in their eyes switched to night vision, and they stealthily walked into the dark house. They moved in slowly, checking in every direction. The house was unfurnished and covered in a thick layer of dust. They both pushed into the darkness. All the doors were open except for the one in the hallway. According to Lucky, it led down to the cellar. Kingston reached down and turned the knob, half expecting it to be locked. Instead, it opened easily. His gut said they were walking into a trap. He exhaled and stepped down onto the first step. Once his foot hit the top step, a blinding light turned on. The contacts in their eyes immediately changed to sunglass mode. They proceeded carefully down the stairs, not knowing what was waiting for them. By the time they reached the bottom floor, Kingston realized that he was holding his breath. He pushed out the unhealthy air as quietly as possible. The basement was encased in shadows, and the only light that reached into the room was from the stairwell. As they stepped toward the center of the room, the walls lit up with an amber glow. Pandora located a computer in the corner of the room. She pulled out her laptop and flipped her mask up and off her face. She connected her computer to the one in the corner. "Let's find out who we're dealing with." She typed a few lines of code and a message appeared on the walls. Game clock, 85 days. Pandora keyed in a few more lines of code and the message disappeared. The next thing Kingston saw was a laser scan over Pandora's face. On the wall, it said, "Greetings, Pandora Vu." Pandora stopped typing. Information about her could be seen projected on the wall. Pandora Vu, born in Tokyo, Japan, arrived in the United States at age 5, graduated Stanford with a computer science degree, employed at Redline Technologies as a software engineer. Then all kinds of pictures. A picture of when she was young sitting on a stoop next to what looked like her dad. A picture with middle school friends celebrating her 13th birthday. A picture of her in the computer lab. A picture from Tokyo Fashion Week dressed in streetwear. A picture of her graduating college. It was unnerving. A holograph appeared in the room. It was a projection that stood 9 feet tall. It was a man dressed in a 1950s tuxedo with a glowing red-orange vintage mask over his face. There was a small, round screen on the respirator over his mouth that displayed sound waves anytime he spoke.
"Shouldn't you be at work? Honestly, your manager at Redline Technologies might find it strange that his software engineer is in Utah, don't you think?"
Pandora said nothing. She yanked her mask back over her face. She typed even faster, trying to hack through the firewalls.
"Were you at the gala? I don't remember seeing you."
Kingston flattened himself against the wall and made sure that his mask fully covered his face. The holograph looked over his shoulder.
"Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm the founder. Shall we begin?"